There's two sites that are sacred for me, two logins. It's my bank login and my email login. And I have it with all dual step or authenticators all associated to it always. So you have to make sure that's all set up properly. All right, so I'm sharing my screen here. So another thing too, we will get quite a bit is you'll get DocuSign requests. Now we DocuSign all the time. And it's surprising how many people will just click the link and go. Now, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it looks exactly how it's formatted for DocuSign. And in this case, it's got pulled into my spam folder. And depending upon where you're at, the first thing you look at is who it's sent from. In this case, it's sent from someone in Japan. AP is in Japan. So this is doc shared, and you'll see eaqap.tony@mbb.niftyjp. So it's not from typically DocuSign. So that's the first thing that I look. Now the issue is a lot of people think, especially on your computer, and if you have not updated your Windows computer, Windows is a horrible computer when it comes to this stuff. You click these links, it will insert some type of spam, and what they'll do is they'll like, depending upon the sophistication of the spammer, it might be, and also this are easy to do and replicate, what I call script kiddies. It will infect your computer for a future date. And they make it what they call a zombie computer. So that when they need to take it over, if you have an escrow or something else, then they go in front of it and they start to send emails on behalf of you to your client to wire the money directly to this particular account or get whatever it is. That's why it's important to make sure that your email account is absolutely set up. So if I were to click this, and a lot of times too, I don't click it on a device, you'll see I'll look at the actual link it is. So if I take here and I can actually see the link, and I'll copy the link address and I'll take a look at it, and it's always not going to be DocuSign. So it depends how your email's set up. So if you have your email set up where it automatically downloads images, then you could get infected already, because sometimes they'll also put it into the image itself. It depends upon how sophisticated the person is. One thing that just to understand it, if the government wants to get you, they will. So that's the thing. But most spammers are not that sophisticated, but they do have it where they can embed it into images. And sometimes the preview itself, you might see where it's an actual script. Never, ever, ever click an attachment that you don't know who it's coming from. Also, because of this, and I know how horrible this is for me, before I send any DocuSign requests, I always let my client know. I say, okay, just to give you a heads up, you'll be receiving a DocuSign request. It'll be from this, in this case, it was from Team Self, or you'll be receiving an attachment from me, that kind of thing. So this is what I usually do. So this looks, and sometimes you're just busy or you're in our DocuSign. So that's one thing you have to really watch out for. Additionally, I receive tons of text messages from people that I don't know who they are. I got this one here. Hey, Thomas. Obviously, I'm not Thomas. A bit of an odd one. I have a seller my client can't service. I was wondering if I could hand them over. Huh?
I just got the same one.
Right. Referral basis. Are you available for a quick call later this afternoon if you just send a message? Now, I ignore these, delete them, and spam. So if you reply back, sometimes two things will happen. One is that they confirm that the number is good, and they'll just sell your number on the black web, and then you'll just get overwhelmed with stuff. If it's a legitimate service and I know they're just spamming me, I will do stop. And it's hit or miss. If I recognize it, it looks like it is, but again, I'll occasionally do stop, and it will stop, especially if I get the same one over and over and over again from the same one.
What about all that are flipper?
Yeah, so those are spam. So your text messages, actually, they're all required. It's very hard to spam. You have to have an option, if you're legitimate, a way to allow the user to opt out. And by the default is stop. So if they're the flipper ones, you can put stop and you'll see it should. But then sometimes if people are just doing it from their phone, so you just delete. I just delete. It's the safest thing. If I see like a whole skew of people inside a list, I never reply to that. Yeah. So they're AI agents. So you'll see a lot of people that are AI agents. That's the one thing too. And then another thing too, you got to be really careful with. We received this where I get this. There's actually two things. People, because I do a lot of leases, they will put a listing up and have my information, and they'll have a very low amount and direct money to get the lease. That's happened quite a few times, unfortunately. So if it's too good to be true, that's the one thing. And then also too, I have also received one where an offer on our property from an agent out of area, and it turned out that somehow they got access to her email, or they're using her information.
They created a new email with her name.
Yeah, a real agent.
Vanessa got it, and they wanted her to click on the links for the offer.
Yeah, and the links were really weird. And then if you absolutely have to click a link, it's usually better on an iPhone rather than on your device. It's a little bit safer. Don't click it. But if you have to do it, you can go in a privacy secure browser tab and you can click it through there, copy and paste and do that. I wouldn't do it, but
Unsolicited offers.
well, that's the thing is that this particular one was really strange because I haven't seen that before. So as a listing agent, I've received this too myself where I get an offer and we're supposed to reply back. So now what I do is I call the agent up if I'm not expecting it. And it's amazing still. And then another one I get too, and I just got one recently. I had a lease. I get these a lot of lease stuff where, oh, we can move in tomorrow. Please click this link and download my application. So you just have to be suspicious about it. And what I was going to share is that it's surprising how agents don't call when they're going to submit an offer. I text and I call all the time to confirm that, because you have to confirm receipt of the offer. But I would say about 70%.
I've had agents call me and say, I'm just calling to follow up on the offer that I sent you last week. And I'm like, never heard of you before. I don't have, then I look and I'm like, oh, it went to spam. Agent never even called me. I had no idea they had an offer.
Was it legitimate?
Yeah, I mean, that was legitimate, but it's,
So how does it work though with the offers? Is it considered received?
It's considered received when you open it.
But how do you know if you open it when you don't have it turned on?
Well, if it goes to spam, you don't know you haven't opened it.
I have my email set up because sometimes they request open certification. I have it set up so it doesn't do any of that. So the only way you confirm that your offer was received, who you're representing your client, is to make sure you contact the agent and get in writing that offer received. You can't just assume
I put that in
the email.
my header of my offer.
So those agents who are sending these offers without calling me and confirming I received the offer are not doing their job at all. And we get that all the time. And that's why I don't understand. You don't have an accepted offer until you confirm receipt of that offer.
You haven't presented an offer until they've received.
Right. Just be aware that it's very sophisticated, like what Courtney mentioned. Just be aware that they're not going to call you. The government won't call you to confirm.
The magistrate won't come and arrest me.
Yeah. And in customer service from Microsoft will never call you, ever.
And you can never get it.
And that one stopped. That one stopped. I used to get that all the time. And I'd keep the people on the phone. And I'd just pretend I was a dumb person.
How about the attorney from a foreign country who's researching a person from your family, and you're the last one, and you're going to get...
So all those weird ones, they still kind of exist, but now they're getting very sophisticated. So I just want to make sure you're aware. Set up dual step. So
there was one recently, sometimes you get calls to other lines where no one's, they say like, hello, and like get that voice recording.
Oh, yeah.
And then do like a scam.
Voice spoof, yeah. And a lot of times too, the reason why they're waiting is it's an automated caller, and then it's triggered when you actually talk. So if you wait and just let it won't trigger. It needs to have it's calls, and then once it hears something, then it goes into this whole thing. And they're getting really good. There was one that I just answered, and I could tell, and then as soon as anything I talk, and he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and it was really. It was a good response one. And they're not supposed to do that. That's against the law. Yeah. You're not supposed to use AI bots to spam call. All right. Any questions in Zoom land? All right. That was it. Fun stuff.